everyone, my name is Liza Hanim. My student ID number is E1DO23102008 and I'm from the English Education Study Program in University of Mataram. In this final project for the audiovisual translation course, I will present my Indonesian English dubbing project based on speech delivered by Puan Maharani as the Speaker of the Indonesian House of Representatives or DPR RI. This speech was delivered during the opening session of the second year of the DPR RI term for the 2024 to 2028 period. This speech discusses the direction of Indonesia's national development, the role of the DPR in legislation, budgeting, and supervision, as well as effort to create policies that support the welfare of the people. Honorable President, Vice President, and distinguished members of the House. This opening session marks the start of the second year of the House of Representatives 2024 to 2029 term. Throughout the first year, we face fundamental issues and strategic challenges that will shape the direction and quality of Indonesia's development going forward. The problems and challenges we must address are not merely administrative tasks, but rather fundamental issues concerning the very foundation of our nation's social justice, the welfare of the people, equitable development, and the strengthening of national sovereignty. Every administration brings its own approach, its own way of thinking, working, and leading. That difference is a necessity. The situation and condition of the nation and the state have also changed, so the approach to development must respond to the realities of the time. But one thing must never change: the ultimate goal that our people live more decently, more prosperously, and have a more meaningful life. Whatever the leadership style, what matters is the real result delivered to the people. President Prabowo Subianto's government has set the direction for the next 5 years through the National Medium-Term Development Plan or RPJMN. The RPJMN is not just a planning formality, it is the strategic, technocratic translation of the President's vision, summarized in Astacita. This document is the compass for national development across every ministry and agency. That's why there is no separate ministerial vision, only the President's vision and mission. Development is not an instant process. Not every result of development can be felt right away. Development takes time, consistency, and continuity of policy. Policies that focus solely on short-term interests, no matter how beneficial they may seem today, risk becoming a burden on the country in the future. Therefore, the Indonesian House of Representatives, together with the government, bears a significant constitutional responsibility to ensure that every state policy that in the areas of legal policy, defense policy, development policy, or budgetary policy is carefully formulated, taking into full consideration both the short-term and long-term benefits and risks. Every policy must be fully oriented toward the people's interests, not merely sectoral or short-term gains. The second year of the session is a strategic moment for the House and the government to strengthen the nation's overall policy direction. The people place great hope, that under President Prabowo Subianto's leadership, national policy will increasingly side with their lives. To fulfill that hope, the House, through its legislative, budgetary, and oversight functions, will act as the government's constitutional partner in driving national development forward. The House will ensure every national development effort stays within the existing legal framework and remains oriented toward the people's interest. Honorable President, Vice President, and distinguished members of the House, in carrying out our legislative function, the House shares responsibility with the government for drafting laws that meet the nation's legislative needs. Allow me to take this opportunity to report on our lawmaking performance from the first year of the 2024 to 2029 term. To date, the Indonesian House of Representatives, together with the government, has completed deliberation on 14 draft laws, namely Commission 1, 1 law. Commission 2, 10 law. Commission 6, 1 law. And the legislation body, 2 laws. The remaining commissions are still in the process of drafting and deliberating their bills. This session, the House, together with the government and the Regional Representative Council, will focus on 11 draft laws still at the first level of discussion. The House will always prioritize quality lawmaking versus quality over quantity. In the legislative process, the Indonesian House of Representatives and the government often find themselves in the middle of various legal entities with differing interests such as employers and employees, business owners and customers, government officials and the public, service providers and users, and other social relationships, much like a referee in the middle of a sport match. Everyone believes they are right, and whenever the whistle blows, plenty will still protest. Not to mention the commentators who have voiced both support and opposition. That's how democracy works, noisy, full of aspirations, and it takes patience to listen before the gates falls. The lawmaker's primary duty is to be fair and wise in crafting the legal norms that govern this relationship. The Constitution requires that law serve as an instrument of justice for every citizen. That is why meaningful public participation is a crucial requirement in every lawmaking process. This participation is an expression of the people's sovereignty. By listening to, weighing, and considering public aspiration, the laws we produce will carry stronger legitimacy, fairness, and public acceptance. Honorable President, Vice President, and distinguished members of House. The House oversight function is aimed at improving the government's performance in serving the people and implementing the law. The House pays close attention to issues that concern the public, among them: first, resolving the blocking of dormant accounts by PPATK. Second, the state's plan to regulate abandoned land and areas. Third, the implementation of the People's School Program. Fourth, evaluating the free nutrition meal program. Fifth, managing certain functional position allowance across ministry, agencies, and regional government. Sixth, the plan to shift social assistance distribution from a lifetime program to a 5-year program. Seventh, protecting Indonesian citizens' personal data as part of trade tariff commitments. 8. Implementing the Constitutional Court ruling on free elementary and junior high school education. 9. Synergy between central and regional government in carrying out national strategic programs. 10. Implementing music copyright royalties. And of course, there are many more public concerns brought directly to the House through constituency aspirations, public complaints, and our official forums. Hope is clear that every problem they face. Thank you for watching my dubbing project. Through this project, I learned that audiovisual translation is not only about translating words, but also about delivering the meaning, emotion, and message of the original speaker. One of the challenges I faced during this project was maintaining synchronization between the original video and my dubbing voice, while also making sure the translation sounded natural and understandable. Another challenge was adjusting my pronunciation, intonation, and speaking speed to match the original speech. However, this project gave me valuable experience in improving my translation skills, speaking ability, and understanding of the dubbing process. Overall, this project was a meaningful learning experience for me. Thank you very much.